Hey TYT, I'm Nomi Konst, here in Brooklyn, just before the election, which is on Tuesday, with a candidate that you may recognize because he's been getting a lot of attention nationally. He's received the endorsement of Our Revolution, the Democratic Socialists of America, with the roses. He's running on the Green Party line in New York, in one of the remaining areas of the state where the machine is still heavy-handed. And Jabari Brisbort, Thank you for taking the time when you should be out there canvassing.
Thanks, Nomi.
To spend time with us. So thanks for this opportunity.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I'm just happy to be, for the signal boost.
Fantastic. So, for those who aren't familiar with Brooklyn and Brooklyn politics, you decide you're going to run for city council against the machine, and you're getting a lot of attention. Why? How? And are you scared to death?
You know what? No, I don't operate for politics in fear. I went out to Standing Rock. I went out to Charlottesville. I like to just go into the action. I like to fight. And yeah, there is a machine here. I'm not just going up against the machine. I'm going up against an incumbent. So there's lots of levels to go against. Especially as a Green. But we can definitely win. I mean, we have 7,000 people that voted against the incumbent in the primary. We got the backing of Our Revolution, which has 4,000 numbers. We've been calling through in the district, and we have around 15,000 independents that we've been reaching out to in the district. So it's been going pretty well.
You grew up in this area?
I grew up here, yeah, born and raised.
How much has this neighborhood changed in the time you grew up?
It's changed a lot, and most, it's the businesses, the demographics, but I mean, there's it goes with the good and bad. I mean, my local playground had a crack pipe in it, and I got banned from playing it as a kid, and so now there's a vegan cheese shop around the corner. So it's changed a bit, for good or for worse, and it's sad to see some of the small business go, but that's also why I'm fighting, is because at this point it's hard. A lot of people getting kicked out.
A lot of people getting kicked out. Gentrification is a huge issue. Rent prices in New York are at the top of the list in every single campaign, every election. What are some of the issues that your unique perspective as someone who's local but also very progressive can speak to?
So we'll start with housing. The rent is too damn high, and one way to fight back against that for affordable housing, I'm extreme leftist, I'm a socialist, and so I'm like, let's stop giving public subsidies to for-profit developers, because it ends up in their pockets. On policing, bringing the police under community control. On education, like stopping publicly funded charter schools, things which move things out of the private sector into the public sector where we have accountability.
It's so crazy to me because New York City is incredibly progressive. They have an incredibly progressive city council, but there are still these privatization conversations, and specifically in areas where the machine exists. What does the machine look like to you? When people who are not in New York hear about the Democratic machine, what is that?
It's people lining up. Well, for example, even in this race, in the Democratic primary, there was a progressive Democrat running, but the entire machine lined up behind the incumbent because there's a major deal going through in this district that's a crux of gentrification in one of the cities called the Bedford Union Armory, and it's a whole citywide tract of land the city is trying to sell off to a developer that wants to build luxury condos. And the mayor is lined up behind the incumbent because he wants to see it go through. He got tons of council members to do it. Our Congress people and state senators and legislators got behind her because the machine is just lining up to push this through. And there's a hotel being built across the street, so hotel unions got involved as well, and that's what the machine looks like. It's everyone lining up to make sure a really terrible deal goes through.
You were arrested?
I was arrested twice protesting that deal. Once was at a meeting where they were going to vote on it, because it goes through multiple votes, and so one was there, and then after they voted to push it further along, on Thursday a bunch of us went out, we were in the streets near City Hall, got arrested again, and had to sit in the precinct. I can't get arrested a third time or else it gets really bad.
It gets expensive, and you have to deal with the criminal justice system.
Yes.
So
I had to see a judge the day after Christmas.
Why did they arrest you? What was their excuse?
Disorderly conduct. The first time I wouldn't leave the room, and the second time I wouldn't get out of the street. But it was a terrible deal, and actually all the cops agreed with me. And once we were in the precinct, they were like, yeah, that deal sounds like it's terrible. So yeah,
sit on that one.
Yeah.
Running as a Democratic Socialist on the Green Party line, some would be like, you're crazy. Who is giving you your political strategy? That's nuts in a district like this. Which, by the way, what parts of Brooklyn? The neighborhoods?
Yeah, so we're like in north central Brooklyn. So it starts at, north, it's like Fort Greene, it's a little bit of Clinton Hill, a little bit of Bed-Stuy, Prospect Heights, and Crown Heights. And I know I'm crazy. People say, how dare you try and run against the machine as a Green Party? There's no chance you'll win. And we've just picked up insane momentum because a lot of people are looking for something different. And I'm sure people know, if you don't live in New York has some of the worst voting and election laws. So a lot of people are just hamstringed into the Democratic Party just because of closed primaries and extended time to register. They're not ideologically Democrat, they just do it because that's the only way they can vote.
And there's incredibly low turnout during these elections, these off-year elections. So a lot of folks might not know, and and it's a great lesson to our audience, is that in these off-year elections, there's an incredible opportunity for a challenger to challenge a machine party person, because it's about turnout. It's about getting people on the ground. I mean, we're looking at your office right now, which is packed. There are people outside watching us, out there canvassing for you. So is this your model to take on the machine? Is to out-machine it?
We're going to out-machine it. And also, this is the district to do it in. This is the only district in all of New York City that elected a third-party candidate in the past several decades. Her name's Letitia James, and she got elected on the Working Families Party ticket in 2003. So this is where we can start. We can really start to push against it. She went back to the Democratic Party, but I plan to stay as a Green if elected.
Really?
Yeah.
So would you start a caucus in the city council? Like, what happens? You as a Green Party candidate get elected to city council. What does that mean?
I know I may have to pull a Bernie and not be in the Democratic Party, but caucus with them in order to work my legislation through. But ultimately, I would like to build more of a Green base and get others elected as well, and not just the city council, like state legislator, get some Congress people, and ideally a Green president would be awesome.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So, all right. So election day is in a couple of days. What are the numbers that you think you can turn out and do they have a sense of what you're planning on doing?
We need 15,000 votes approximately. It's a very high turnout district, and New York City is huge. So 50,000 for a city council district. We have around 13,000 people identified as either super supportive or on the fence. We're reaching out to all of them in the next today and tomorrow. And that's people we identified. There are people that we reach out for the first time and they say, "Oh yeah, I heard about you, the Vice interview or whatever," and they're already supporting the campaign. So I think we got a really good shot.
Democratic socialism has had a different connotation for different generations. Our generation, we're millennials, and Bernie Sanders supporters. I think that they see socialism in a different way than maybe older demographics. But you still have to win these older demographics in this district. It's old school politics. How are they responding to DSA?
They, they just want to know more about it. I mean, they hear the word socialism, and then the big thing is say, wait, it's not just bread lines in Russia, right? It means an economy and a political system of the people, for the people, and by the people. So we start talking about that, we get into the issues, and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be giving public subsidies to for-profit developers. That is causing gentrification. And you talk to them about the issues, and you win them over.
Do you sense that if you don't win, I don't want to put that out there, but what happens, if you come really close, is this the foundation, welcome to Brooklyn, is this the foundation of a movement in Brooklyn?
I think so. I mean, I think we got a strong left base, and especially, even just a strong showing can show great things for DSA. I mean, again, Green Party ticket going up against an incumbent. I mean, anything we do that's not, that comes even close is very, very impressive. And DSA is doing great things, especially in terms of building a base right here in central Brooklyn.
Wait till the dump truck goes by. Brooklyn is how it works. We're no Vice. Vice is headquartered in Brooklyn. You have been getting a lot of national attention, and Vice has picked up on you. The New Yorker published something today.
A New York Magazine.
New York Magazine, excuse me.
Yeah. New York, I don't know.
That'd be interesting. You've been able to raise money off of small dollar donations.
Yeah, what's great about New York City is it has a 6-to-1 matching funds program. So and you get public funds matched too. So between private and public, we raised around $150,000, which is enough to reach out to tons of voters. We sent out a mailer to around 31,000 people, which is awesome.
What did that look like?
It's just a picture of me shaking a nice old lady's hand in a barbershop, and then some issues in the background.
You mean no slander? You weren't like.
Oh no, I don't slander. I run a positive. I think that's also people like me, and so I run a very positive campaign. And they like what I have to say about the issues.
Super accessible.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the next 2 days?
I'm gonna knock on so many doors and just meet as many people as I can and just turn things out. I might not sleep for the next 48 hours, but and then eventually hope to win.
What's the best response you've received so far? Best experience? Most moving experience?
Best experience probably was somebody coming down and being like, "Are you Jabari?" Actually, it just happened. No, that's a separate one. This one that just in the elevator where I was going up to get to another constituent. Some people in the elevator were like, "Are you Jabari?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Okay, we heard about you. Some other people knocked on our door, and we also saw your interview. We're voting for you." And yeah, that was just in an elevator in an apartment building.
I hate to ask you, but what's the worst experience?
Let me see. Probably somebody at the primary didn't want to take a flyer. They said, "Green Party." No, I'm still mad at Nader.
Okay, that's not personal then.
That's not personal.
I'm still mad at Nader too. I mean, Al Gore is now basically a socialist. So
I know.
Maybe there's still time, Hillary. There's still time. Who knows where she'll be in 10 years?
Right? Maybe she'll be in the DSA too.
Let her in. Jabari, awesome. This is fantastic. We're gonna give people a little bit of a tour. Do you want to give us a tour of the office?
Yeah, no problem.
Of the office?
Yeah, sure.
It's a campaign office.
Sure, it's a campaign office. So
sign and
We got a lovely, our nice sign here. We got some DSA roses around alongside the Green Party.
Black Lives Matter right over here.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter. We have them endorsed by the Black Lives Caucus too, which is part of Black Lives Matter of Greater New York. And then if you just want to step into the office really quickly.
Shout out to Kate, who's doing.
Yeah, shout out to Kate. So this is the office. I want to give a big shout out over here to Democratic Socialists of America, who have been doing so much legwork in the office. I know it's kind of packed in here, but we got a lot of people working on computers. They're text banking, they're phone banking. This is the inside the office team. We got the outside the office. Lamika's got a great bag.
I'm stealing a bag. Do I have to give you a contribution?
No, just have it.
Thank
For
you.
just have it.
Everyone's doing their work on that, so.
Yeah.
This is what a campaign office looks like. For those of you who've never worked on a campaign, it's a couple days before an election. It's like, everybody, just get them out of the way. Like, we have to focus.
Yeah.
So you have your mailers?
Yeah, mailers. This is one of the, because we're actually running on two lines. So I got the Green Party line, but also a Socialist ballot line that DSA created. And these are actually the Socialist ballot line flyer that DSA made. They made.
Can I ask you about that? What does it take to get on the ballot in New York? Like, that's a big deal.
We just get 450 signatures, and so I think DSA actually collected around 1,300 or so. It's about 3 times as many. And so we're on the ballot as a socialist and a Green Party person, and people can vote however they wish.
Did you ever think you were going to run for office?
No, not until I think Trump won, and I got frustrated with being an activist and decided to actually go into politics as a legislator, ideally.
Wow, amazing. This is how it happens. So
Yeah.
mailers here.
Everybody say hi.
Hey. All right, he's got to get to work because he's got to get elected, and I do too, I guess. Thanks, guys. I'm Nomi Khan with TYT Politics, and thanks to Kate Albright Hanna for manning the camera phone.
Thank you.